So my name is Theo de Ramecourt and I come from France.
This is the first event of the year, pretty much. What does it mean for you to be here in La Ventana?
Yeah, it actually means a lot. I really love this place. That's my fourth time here. Yeah, I really love the conditions. I really like strong wind and yeah, flat water, slidey condition, which is the case here. Plus, I really like the development and the fact to improve the gear every year. And it's always been the place where all the brands came with brand new gears, like latest prototype before releasing the Kite serial. And that's actually the case with Fly Surfer, my main partner. We've been testing kites over the winter here a lot. I spend a lot of time on the water here. And yeah, I really like the vibe. I like the conditions. I like the food. Yeah, I love it.
Nice. Tell me a little bit, like, when was the first time you had the approach to the sport? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you were doing twin tip or you did straight to racing. I don't know. Tell me, when was this? How old were you? How?
So I started kiting 10 years ago. I really liked it, and I was doing like twin tip like everybody, and freestyle was really fashion, but there was a lot of like riders and yeah, there was a lot of level basically, and yeah, I really enjoyed racing. I did one really tiny event close to my home spot just to meet people, and I really liked it actually. So then I started to do another one. Then I got my first race board. I went to some French events racing on the race boards, and yeah, we've been really lucky with the foils because we saw some foils really early in France on the racing event. So yeah, I just gave it a try. I really felt in love with the sensation the foils just gives you, and then the overall format changed from racing on the race boards to racing on the foils, and yeah, I was part of it.
Right on. So pretty much you been on kite racing since the beginning.
Not
Or what? Tell me.
not the beginning. Like there were already a generation before me racing on the race boards. I just arrived into the racing thing at this moment, and yeah, I was at the beginning of hydrofoil racing actually.
So that was the beginning of Theo, like as an athlete racing hydrofoils, or you were doing another sport, like competing in another sport. That was your first sport, and you said, "I'm gonna compete and I'm gonna commit to this sport."
Yeah. That the first sport. Like I did a lot of different sports when I was a kid, but kitefoiling was like really the sports I wanted to commit my life. I moved place from north to south part of France, and yeah, I'm fully committed.
That's interesting. Tell me what's the feeling that you are getting, not only for foiling, but I want to hear that as well. But is that the competition? What is that feeling that is like, I'm gonna move even from my place where I live? What is that feeling? What it is that it's moving you to keep moving forward and to go and do this what you're doing?
So that's a really hard question, but I think at the beginning I just saw my progression every session that really motivated me. Like I was progressing every single session. I could see it, and that was really motivating. And then there was a dynamic going on in France doing sports study program, so I could basically study and do and kite at the same time, which was really interesting because I was in a boarding school already, so I could kite only over the weekends, and with this opportunity I could kite a lot more and progress because I could kite with Axel Mazella and other really good riders that were already living in south of France. So I went there, I continued to kite as much as possible. Then I passed my baccalaureate, so I went to uni then, and yeah, I continued to kite. And now, I don't know, for a long time I really loved the vibe, loved the people, loved the fact that you could meet like a lot of different people, different culture from so many different countries in one event and just be friends and share this amazing sport. And then I realized, okay, that's really nice, but yeah, I want to go next step, and I really want to improve my riding and then go faster and faster. So yeah, I started to take it really seriously, and I worked on my gear. I try to get as close as possible to fly surfer to be able to help them, give my feedback, be able to understand, learn how the gear works. And yeah, and now I'm here, and yeah, the only thing I want is go faster, and yeah, just be the fastest, pushing my gear and also my lifestyle and my riding style.
That's great. That's very interesting. So, like, you like you said in the end, towards the end, like you wanted to go to the next step, to go faster, to go to another level. A lot of people, they see you racing out there, and you are going fast. I mean, pretty much you are leading every single race, and for a huge gap between the rest of the fleet. But people, they don't know what is behind. What will you tell me a little bit what's behind of it? You know, like everyone's like, "Whoa, Teo's so fast!"
Yeah.
But what have you done? Like, what it took you to get in the level and to perform in the way that you are doing?
So basically, I've been kiting for 10 years. I've been always super motivated, and over the last months, for example, I left home in April for internship because I was studying, and then all the events happening back to back. So I left home in April. I didn't went back for more than 3 days. So I would just go home to swap gear and go in my garage and stuff. And then I had this opportunity to work closely with Fly Surfer on like trimming the new race kite. So I just took this opportunity. So I took 1 year off from university, and in November I just left for the United States to be able to like work closely with the kite designer, to be able to be more or less every day on the water, to train. Yeah, I try to go to the gym every day. I stopped drinking alcohol in September. I learned a lot of on myself, on how to feed me, how I don't know how to sleep. Like I try to learn as much as possible I could learn from my body and how it worked. And yeah, I'm just fully committed. Over the last year, I had only this in mind, and yeah, my main goal was first to be able to make the fastest kite with my main sponsor, Fly Surfer, and at the same time take this free time as an opportunity to train myself. And yeah, in the end, it looks like it's working pretty good.
That's great, and actually, it does. It does. Like the performance you're putting out there is amazing. And tell me, during this period of time, either like in the back when you started with the 3-fin racing boards, but now it looks like in the last a year and a half, you also put a lot more to get in the level on the level than you are.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you get any those hard moments when you, I don't know, maybe an injury or hard situation in your family or something that you were like, this is really like, it's gonna take me, you know what I mean? Like define the line, like if you are going to the next step or you are going to maybe, stay there, or have you been in those situations?
No.
Have you remember any hard moment?
I never had any really hard moments in like my life from my family or whatever, but like everybody, I have my story. I have like a little bit of troubles, but nothing really special. But yeah, I think from what I understand, you talk a little bit about motivation and being hungry to go for some more. And yeah, I think it just came progressively, like after like winning one event, you're able and you want some more, and then you feel really frustrated being just out of the podium because you knew you had the capacity to be on the podium. And then that's how I built myself and how I'm able to go like this today.
That's pretty amazing. And for example, what would you tell, to people who is not kiting yet, probably, or maybe for those who are kiting, but they are thinking to go into racing? what will you tell them, like that feeling of what it is being on the foil at that speed, but also competing with others? Like, what will you tell them? Is it worth it? Like, what's the feeling?
Yeah, for sure, it's totally worth it. That's the most addictive feeling I can get when I'm on my foil in the condition I really love, because I don't know, you feel in total control. You feel like nothing can really like stop you, and you feel like you just go over the boundaries of physics, because you're so fast and with such a different angle to the wind. And yeah, I mean, it's really accessible. You need to put a lot of time and energy, and you need to be really committed, but I get that the same with everything you want to success in your life. You need to just go for it and spend time. But in the end, yeah, that's really an amazing feeling. And the community is like, that's a great community. I met so many people. I grew up on all the, like, everything I learned traveling and meeting all these people. And yeah, there is always a good vibe. There are amazing people out there. You can, everybody has a different story, comes from a different culture. You meet a lot of stuff, and yeah, it really opened my mind also for everything in my life beside kiting. And yeah, that's just great.